Today we are driving the 2023 Buick Envision, and this Envision is the preferred with the ST package. And that just spruces up a little bit with the black wheels and the black exterior accents and whatnot. So let's go ahead, looking at the key fob here, just the traditional newer style GM key fob. You have remote start on the button as well as your liftgate, and then of course you have your physical key in case the key fob battery dies or the vehicle battery dies. So let's go ahead and start off with the exterior of this Envision. This one's finished off in Ebony Twilight and has the jet black cloth and leatherette interior. LED daytime lights up front, of course, and then the ST does give you the black rims, of course, the blacked out grille, fender accent, as well as the black mirror cap. Disregard this. This is just wrapping that was not fully removed. It is not scratches, I promise. We have rear tinted privacy glass, and then of course our passive entry buttons there on all four of the door handles. Capless fuel design for the 2-liter turbo that this comes standard with. Just takes regular 87 octane fuel. Dual exhaust down below, as well as our rear park assist, reverse camera there. This is the all-wheel drive model. Let's take a quick glance at our window sticker. So $40,285 is what this one goes for, but the standard vehicle price is $37.50. Black roof rails up there, and then our blacked out shark fin antenna. Take a quick look at our power plant. This is GM's 2-liter turbocharged inline 4-cylinder. Produces 228 horsepower and 258 pound-feet of torque. And that is routed through a 9-speed automatic transmission and is capable of pulling 3,500 pounds. And it is a really decently made powertrain for this vehicle, as we will come to find out during the test drive portion of the video. But overall, so the Envision, it rides on the Cadillac XT4 platform, so this isn't on the same platform as the Equinox, so that would be its Chevy counterpartner. Let's go ahead, take a look at the cargo capacity. Nice cargo cover back here as well for privacy. And then underneath here we have our spare floor mats. And then you can, of course, coming in the rear, fold down the second row, fold flat so you can fit longer objects there. Climbing into the rear seat of the Envision, I have plentiful amount of room, plenty of room to stretch out and move my feet underneath my seating position. I am 5 feet 10 inches tall, so quite an average size stature for an American. USB as well as USB Type-C, rear vents back here, window switch, and then you have a nice metallic gloss finish back here, as well as leather trimmed door paneling, more storage down below. 2 cup holders here with an armrest. And then, of course, LED map lighting. Handle with a coat hook, and then you have a microphone here for your Bluetooth hands-free calling, so even the rear seat occupant can be heard on a phone call. And then we have our dual mat pockets back here as well. And a panoramic moonroof is an availability, of course, but this Envision, our demo vehicle today, is lacking that, but it is a $1,500 availability. And then coming here, of course, power driver's seat. We have the ST logo embossed into the front headrests. So of course our typical mirror controls, window controls, and then down below we have our liftgate control. You have max, 3/4, and then you can actually shut it off. So it's nice that they give you the option to give you 3/4 in case you have a lower garage or whatnot. Gauge dimming control right there. Headlights. We have our turn signals there with the auto high beam, and then our windshield wiper controls right there. Coming to our steering wheel, it is of course fully leather wrapped. Cruise control settings right there, our heated steering wheel, and then our forward collision warning right there. And then you can do the gap adjust. The Avenir model will come with adaptive cruise control, but this one being the preferred, you are lacking that. And then right here you have the thumb controls for the center display right there, as well as your hands-free phone call right there. And then paddle shifters there for the 9-speed, automatic transmission, airbag, and your horn. And then coming right here for the 9-speed, this is your electronic shifter. GM likes to call this their precision shifter. So you have park, reverse, neutral, drive, and then manual, of course. So being in park, in order to shift into drive, you just pull up on this tab here, push for neutral, and then pull up for reverse. And then when shifting into reverse, of course, you get your nice high-res camera with the active trajectory that can be enabled and disabled at your discretion. And then push for park. Electronic parking brake, different mode selection. Tour mode, all-wheel drive, sport, and off-road. And then back into tour mode. Tour mode is your 2-wheel drive, front-wheel drive version. Auto stop start that can be enabled and disabled at your discretion. Hill descent control, which is kind of funny that a Buick Envision has hill descent control. Our lane departure warning, trash control and stability, and then your park assist that you can enable and disable right there. Dual zone automatic climate control, heated seats, which unfortunately our demo vehicle today is missing the chip for the heated seat, but has the chip for the heated wheel, which is nice because it is a toasty 34 degrees here in Michigan. Front and rear defrost, on and off for the climate. Sync, recirculation, and whatnot. More USBs right there, and then an outlet. Coming to our center console, it is bifold, and you have a really good amount of room down there, although it is lacking illumination and charging ports. Auto dimming mirror, OnStar up top, lighting controls, map lighting. And then this does slide, thankfully, and then you have your mirror and vanity light. Bluetooth microphone there, and your handles. Glove box is very good size and dampened. And overall, the materials, fit and finish of the Buick Envision is very nice and quite luxurious. I think Buick definitely has stepped up their game far. It is definitely more youthful than Buick. For some reason, people think Buick isn't very youthful, but if you stepped in a Buick today, you would beg to differ. So let's go ahead and take this 2023 Envision for a test drive. Starting off, this 2-liter turbo definitely has enough oomph in its step to get you moving. This thing definitely gets out of its own weight fairly quickly, which is very nice. This 9-speed, super responsive. Very nice. And even braking here, the brake pedal has plenty of bite. Feels very nice. Although I do notice the pedal position, you don't have power adjusting pedals, so I feel like the this vehicle was designed for shorter drivers, I guess you could say, just because even though my seating position, I have it set up how I would drive every day, but I feel like the pedals are just very close, and I don't want to move the seat back farther, because then even though the back seats are very spacious for my seating position, if I moved it back even farther, that would kind of, of course, intrude into the rear occupant leg room. So if it would be nice for next refreshed Envision to get power adjusting pedals. But overall, a very smooth ride. This one does not have magnetic ride control. You'd have to bump up to the Avenir trim to get the magnetic ride control, but trim levels for the Envision go Preferred, Essence, and Avenir. This one's the Preferred with the ST. The ST, again, is just an appearance package. It doesn't gain you more power in any way. It's just for sole appearance package, or sole appearance purposes. But overall, currently on the highway, it is, again, very smooth, even for these 20-inch wheels. Although the road noise, even though it is quiet, I feel like just because they are the lower profile tire, the road noise is a little louder than I would like it for a Buick, but it is definitely well within a respected range. And one thing that I do like about GM steering that I notice in quite a lot of their vehicles is the adaptive steering that they have. And what I mean by that is at lower speeds, the steering is actually heavier. So you actually have very good road feel for the vehicle. Like the steering in a lot of vehicles today, I feel like are just extremely numb. But in this, I mean, you have a lot of road feel at lower speeds, but at higher speeds, it lightens up, of course, to make it easier to do lane changes and whatnot. So 2-liter again gets out of its own way very well. Suspension, though, overall, it does absorb bumps very nicely. Pretty much all imperfections in the road, even again with 20-inch wheels, is pretty much unnoticeable. So I can only imagine what having the mag ride on the Avenir would be like. I feel like it would just be like riding on a pillow. But you can see the indicator there for the following distance. Again, you can adjust the gap. So as you can see, when I adjusted it, it goes from orange to green. I feel like just looking out of your windshield, you should be able to tell if you're following too closely to a vehicle or not. So I feel like the gap adjust, you could get confused with having adaptive cruise when you don't. So it should say like following distance alert maybe. You have your blind spot in the side mirrors. And then the Avenir would gain you a heads-up display. overall on the highway, the Envision definitely scores really good. It's a very comfortable vehicle to have as your daily drive. See if I can find a good-sized parking lot to do a turning radius test. Or at least a good portion of open land. But even going through a parking lot, it is very easy to maneuver, as you can imagine, just because the turning circle is like very small for this vehicle. I don't think we're going to be able to find, oh, maybe over here. Yeah, no, that's not quite large enough, but this vehicle does have a very small turning radius. just like that, we're at 60. So this 2-liter definitely provides plenty of power. There is kudos to GM. I think this engine definitely, for this class of vehicle, the previous Envision did not offer a V6, but I feel like even if they were to put the 3.6 in this, there's literally just no need for it. I think GM did a phenomenal job at making this powertrain do what it's designed to do and do it very well. And it's actually just very fuel efficient as well for this class of vehicle, which is nice. Probably do a turning radius test in here, and that we can. So let's go ahead and do that. Oh yeah, very tight turning radius. So if you're ever in a pinch, Envision's got you. We have our rear seat remind going into play to let us know to check for any objects or occupant to not be left in the vehicle. And so that sums up the test drive of the 2023 Buick Envision. Thank you, and hope to see you next time.